The reality of what she'd done hit her like a wave. Was this the spark she had been searching for? Or had she just opened Pandora's box? Jason, on the other hand, wasn't quite as eager to jump into the open relationship as Adele was. He had always been a bit more cautious, more rational. But after seeing the glint of excitement in Adele's eyes when she came home from her first experience, he couldn't help but feel a spark of jealousy and an undeniable urge to follow through on the agreement. He spent hours scrolling through dating apps, trying to find someone who could match the level of allure and excitement he thought he needed. But it wasn't easy. He wasn't looking for a simple fling. He wanted someone who could match Adele's energy, someone who could make him feel desired again, someone who wouldn't ask too many questions. It was a Friday night when he finally met Jessie. She was bold, outspoken, and unapologetically confident. Everything Jason thought he needed. Their chemistry was instant. After a few rounds of drinks and a long conversation about business and life, Jason found himself in Jessie's apartment, his boundaries blurred by the allure of her attention. The sex was exciting, wild, passionate, and quick. But afterward, as he lay next to her in the dim light of her room, he felt nothing. No sense of accomplishment, no thrill, just a nagging emptiness in the pit of his stomach. Jessie, ever the self-assured woman, noticed his hesitation. "That was great, wasn't it?" she asked, tracing her fingers along his arm. "Yeah," Jason lied, still feeling a disconnect. It was good, but his mind kept drifting back to Adele, to the quiet moments they shared before everything started to unravel. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. It was a text from her. "I miss you." Jason stared at the words, a pang of guilt gnawing at him. He told himself this would be fun, just a distraction from the distance between them. But now, with Jessie beside him, he realized that it didn't feel fun at all. It felt hollow. As the days passed, both Jason and Adele tried to navigate the complex dynamics of their new arrangement. Each had their own experiences with other people, and each had their own version of guilt, excitement, and jealousy. Adele's first encounter with Jack made her feel more alive than she had in months, but it also sparked an unexpected wave of jealousy when she saw Jason's photos on Instagram, his flirty smiles, and the woman he was with at a networking event. One night, after a long day of work, Adele came home to find Jason sitting on the couch, his phone in hand. She noticed the sly grin on his face as he scrolled through a message, and the jealousy she tried so hard to suppress bubbled to the surface. "Who are you texting?" she asked, trying to sound casual but failing. "Just a colleague," he replied, eyes still glued to his screen. Adele narrowed her eyes. A colleague or someone else? Jason looked up, realizing the tension in her voice. "Relax, honey. It's nothing. Just someone from the office." But Adele wasn't convinced. She had seen that grin before. He wasn't as unaffected by this arrangement as he wanted to believe, and in that moment, a question burned in her mind. What if this open relationship was more than they could handle? The excitement of exploring new people was giving way to the harsh reality of jealousy, insecurity, and the nagging sense that this wasn't the solution they had hoped for. What had started as a casual adventure was beginning to crack at the seams. The experiences had shifted something deeper inside them both, and they couldn't ignore it any longer. The lines between fun and commitment were blurring, and the question remained. Was this truly making their relationship better, or was it pulling them further apart? Jason's 33rd birthday was meant to be a low-key celebration. At least, that's what Adele had planned. Something intimate, just close friends, a few bottles of champagne, and some heartfelt moments to remind them both of the solid foundation they'd built over the years. Despite their decision to open their relationship, Adele clung to the hope that certain things, like this milestone, would remain sacred. But Jason had other plans. 2 weeks before the big day, he casually mentioned wanting to host his own party. "I just think it would be fun to do something different this year," he said as they sat at the breakfast table. "You know, more of a house party vibe. Music, drinks, dancing." Adele hesitated, feeling an odd unease she couldn't quite place. "Okay, but just us and our friends, right? No surprises?" "Of course," Jason assured her with his usual disarming smile. What Jason failed to mention was that friends now included someone one Adele had only heard about in passing, Jessie. The night of the party arrived, and their spacious apartment in Aburi was transformed into the perfect celebration spot. Adele had gone all out. String lights twinkled across the balcony, a table was laden with jollof rice, chicken wings, and spring rolls, and the sound of Burna Boy's latest hit pulsed through the speakers. Jason, dressed in a sleek navy blue shirt and black trousers, was the center of attention. Adele couldn't help but admire how handsome he looked, even as a lingering unease tugged at her. She chalked it up to the stress of planning and tried to shake it off. Then she saw her. Jessie walked into the room like she owned it, her striking red dress hugging every curve. Adele's stomach dropped. Jason, standing by the makeshift bar, immediately brightened when he spotted Jessie. He excused himself from a group of friends and made his way to her, pulling her into a hug that lingered just a second too long. Adele watched from across the room, her fingers tightening around her glass of wine. Who the hell was this woman?